Hi, Capricorn. Aries season reading. Sorry about last month. Just had some stuff going on, so I appreciate you understanding. But we'll spend a little bit more time in the second part, which will be in the link below on Patreon, which we go deeper into the reading we initially pull together, because it's our energy together, not just mine. Everything else is below as well to work with me one-on-one. Is Aries season, and I just say let's get into this. The world came out first, so maybe you needed some time anyway. You needed some time to close some stuff. You needed to listen to your own advice. You needed to receive a different kind of advice. Also, I'm going to be a little bit more poetic possibly lately. To be given proof, to be given truth. I'm not even trying here. Watch now I'll mess up. And to be given a look, a little bit of proof that you don't always need to you don't always need to try too hard. Not that you do, but you don't. You have this way about you where sometimes you could work yourself up, you get to it, and then you're all good, you're all relaxed. But right now, and especially if depending on who you surround yourself with or how your space is when you're, wherever you are the most, that could become really important to you at this time. You seem to be changing this idea of this can be about romance and work. Looking at this right now, so we'll talk a little bit about both. Venus has been very strong lately, and I mean, this is the Venusian wave, right? How you maybe envisioned love before, or giving it, or finding it, or receiving it, or it coming to you, and how it works. You have all these skills, and you've had all these times, and you have all these moments, but it seems like something at this time, sorry, my cat's being silly. Something at this time is making you really aware of what it is that you're really looking for, what it is that you really want. It's causing you to have to feel it. You really have to feel, even if you've never felt it before, it's being open to receiving something that is worth your time, worth your energy. Not that you're someone who won't, but all depending on how you received and did things in your earlier life, that's how it affects us growing up. Even, it's not just your childhood, it is, but how it plays out. I think that, or I see here, that this time the approach has got to be different. Mercury, the magician, is coming in to say, like, this time it's different. This time it won't feel maybe as traditional, or it won't feel as casual. You'll understand, and it also won't feel like there's this, hold on one second, there's this extreme, like overly extreme attraction either. This is about, and for those of you that are in partnership, this is about you taking off somewhat of a rose-colored lens. It's not a full glasses, but there's a lens on there, I see. But for most of you, it's how you and what you value in love. There's a lot of cards, okay? We will use them all. Those came out last. And Mars and Cancer is influencing this probably as well. But mainly, it's just how things work. There's a slight change that may have the capacity to change a lot of different things. This closing out of the control of how you receive love. There's plenty of cliche love quotes out there, but it's also about appreciation, affection, attention, money, how you make it, how you want to make it, how receptive you are to one thing versus the other, because I think more feminine or females have a little bit more time receiving, and then the males the opposite. Just my perspective. The Chariot, this brings you to more of a very strong influence about what you want and don't want in the aspect of right now, like what in your life you can cut out in order to make space for something new or someone new. So you conjoin yourself to this idea or this new hypothesis or this new way of understanding how money flows or how love flows, the flow of it, the give and take of it all. We have like the aces right on top of each other. I love that. And you can't be more grateful for what you've had. I think this brings you to another level of gratitude in your life. And that opens up the well even more. The world and the Ace of Cups coming out first says like, everything's here for you. You just need to be still enough or not do too much enough to notice it. That it's all around you, that it's right in front of you, that it's been here the whole time, or for at least a little while. That fulfillment has to do with this connection between feeling grateful and knowing when to give away, knowing when to pick the fruit, knowing when to speak up, move on. Ace of Swords is like, okay, I've already been like clear cut about all of this, about a lot of it. And now I'm even getting clearer and you're getting sharper, which allows for another subconscious thing to open where you're like, oh, this is maybe what I've been missing the whole time. Not deciding so sharply on this actually caused me to want to control this even more. But really, whatever it is, maybe it's like getting over like some kind of, or getting through some kind of attachment. You know, that could be a lot of different things to something, or, you know, control upon how you interact with your daily life as opposed to just these specific moments that you deem more important than others, right? And this is causing you to easily give up anywhere you've been stuck because it's not worth it. It's just not worth it. You're like, okay, I've learned, let's do this. Like, I'm not afraid. You know, when Capricorn comes to the awareness and finally understands how they're feeling, they become very, you have emotions. You'll have, depending on how your chart's set up, depending on who you are, you'll have emotions, you'll have different like processes, but when you know you're ready to do something, it's already done. In the future, it's already done. You're like, okay, they became aware of it. It's going to be done in this time, at this pace, because that's who you are. And that's how, it's a part of who you are. It's what makes you so reliable, and not in a bad way. It's just, you're reliable to what it is that's being shown to you, being offered to you, a concept, a person, a situation, an idea. You can shut down certain things, but eventually it will come back and have you open it, like you be open to it once again, just because you always want to be sharp. You don't want to be dull. You don't want to look stupid. And you're not stupid. You're very intelligent, but you don't like appearing that way either. You know, tell me what earth sign really likes to be embarrassed. None. Zero. None. Always got it together. So then why would you let yourself slip in one area? Right? Whatever you can consciously control right now is what's most important. You may not be in control of how you meet this person or you come into your next job, but you're open to it. You're not afraid anymore of any of those things. And I'm focusing heavily on those because that's what I'm seeing here. But if it's something else in your life that you're just like, or this person that you just can't shake, and then you're finally able to, Aries season is the perfect time to do that, because going into Taurus season with any kind of over expectation attachment will just attach onto what is already going to be exposed to you next season. Right? So I would say let it burn away. Maybe do a ritual around it if you need. Let yourself be vulnerable. Let yourself love yourself. Like, I have a soft spot for you. I don't say that to any other sign. You are the ones I have a soft spot for. And you're doing something major, because if you have any inclination as to be any kind of people pleaser, be any kind of yes person, however you want to call it, you're defining your line, you're defining your boundary in such a vulnerable way where people are going to see this other side of you. You know, you have different sides to you that not everybody gets to see, but there's something about what happens here where there's a deeper respect for who you are from whoever and whomever this affects. There's a deeper respect that I think you see for yourself when you look in the mirror, not just to, you know, make sure everything's good and you're heading out the door, but you find yourself maybe even lingering the next few months, just kind of like understanding, like, this is the person who you are now. Like, this is you right now. Like, anyone can go up to the mirror and like, yeah, this is me right now. And notice what passes through your head and how you can understand and find some kind of way to love whatever is happening now, and knowing whatever change is going on with internally and externally, it's all for the betterment of you being led while leading. Because you're always meant to lead. Like, let's not get it twisted here. You're always meant to lead, but you're taking a look at things in a way where it's not just so cutthroat. You're understanding that it's not just a job, that sometimes having a purpose is even better. Because, like, I know a few Capricorns that have a gig but have a side gig, you know, and they enjoy that one more, right? But the client, like, getting better at something makes you feel good, you know, like, that's understandable. Those lines haven't been defined in the entrepreneur world, and except for, like, I guess money and how many people like follow you or come to your things or whatever it is, or buy your books or buy your you know, that's how you kind of gauge it. But you can create those, you know, you specifically can create those, right? If nothing that you do is create standard, like, why not create one out of thin air? And I think that this is what's showing you is, like, you've only narrowed your standard, and now you're beginning to expand upon what has closed down, what has come to an end. I think that was awesome, Capricorn. This is an amazing moment for you, and I just want you to realize, like, you can't really see this coming, but you can feel it. But this is just an extra if you just need the validation. That's what I hear the most, you know, like trusting yourself, trusting your body through this process. Like, even if you're in great shape, like, your nervous system, when you change, your nervous system changes, right? So there's a lot you want to get off your chest and say, and you'll be surprised at how well you're received, and vice versa. Ooh. Okay, and vice versa. Let's be serious. It's the side of you that only few people see, that you're revealing to more, and I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing, actually. And I think last full moon is what showed you and revealed to you, and that was last week, or through last week to the 22nd. And that time you'll find how much more experience you'll have with these moments and how they influence you and how you approach situations in the future. Just wanted to bring it down before we left, okay? All right, the next part, the extended, the hyper in-depth, broad understanding. We have Sagittarius here, we have Uranus here, we have Cancer here, a few different things to look at. Love, money, all the beautiful things. Faith. It's not just a religious term. In the next part, link below, check it out, and I'll see you there.